Good afternoon. My name is Alex Condra, and this is my presentation on disaster management in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands have been a British territory since 1962. The capital is Georgetown, which is located on Grand Cayman, and the Caymans have a population of 78,500 people. The GDP of the Cayman Islands is $7.14 billion, which equates to a GDP per capita of just under $91,000. The islands are located in what is known as Hurricane Alley, which is a location where many hurricanes form, intensify, and travel through. In addition to hurricanes, the Cayman Islands are also prone to earthquakes and sea level rise. Moving on to geographical and natural threats, weather conditions such as warm ocean temperatures, low wind shear, and moist and humid air all contribute to hurricane formation and rapid intensification. Earthquakes also occur, such as the 7.7 magnitude earthquake that occurred in January of 2020. Furthermore, the average elevation is only 7 feet above sea level, which means that even small increases in sea level pose a major threat. Additionally, the erosion of coral reefs and mangroves only makes the issue of sea level rise worse, as both serve to protect against beach erosion and storm surge. Shifting focus towards the economic vulnerabilities facing the Cayman Islands, the Caymans are heavily reliant on tourism. This means that when hurricanes do occur, their economy faces immediate contractions as tourism declines. Furthermore, since 1993, there has been a 3.99-inch rise in sea levels. As the sea level continues to rise, there will be further beach retraction, and this will negatively affect GDP in the future as there is less beach and less coastline for resorts to build on and for tourists to visit. The government was able to overhaul their once decentralized system by creating Hazard Management Cayman Islands, otherwise known as the HMCI, to coordinate all future planning and response. They also established the National Emergency Operations Center and the National Hazard Management Plan. In 2010, they then added the National Weather Service. All these steps helped the Cayman Islands build a structured and responsive emergency system. Currently, the Cayman Islands face risks from hurricanes, flooding, and earthquakes. There have been 10 direct hit hurricanes since 2002, meaning that the closest point of approach was 75 statute miles or less from the Cayman Islands. 2 of these were major hurricanes, Hurricane Ivan in 2004 and Hurricane Paloma in 2008. These storms lead to flooding with storm surge occurring. Earthquakes also can and do occur, which is why having a centralized system is critical as it allows for faster, more coordinated responses across the islands. This centralization was accomplished by the National Hazard Management Plan, otherwise known as the NHMP. This plan was created by the HMCI and covers both natural and man-made disasters. The plan recognized that hurricanes and earthquakes were the main threats to life and property in the Cayman Islands, and this plan clearly centralized structure for emergency response by defining who was responsible for what during a disaster. The hurricane section of the NHMP is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 sets up the general authority and guidelines. Part 2 assigns responsibilities before, during, and after a storm. And Part 3 is tailored specifically to the smaller sister islands, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, because they have unique needs compared to the main island. Due to the Cayman Islands being close to the transform boundary formed between the North American and Caribbean plates, earthquakes can and do occur. While earthquakes have not yet caused major damage, the potential is there. The HMCI includes earthquake tips in its All Hazards booklet. These include the usual tips such as drop, cover, and hold on, as well as guidance on keeping emergency kits ready. Finally, public education and awareness is a major part of their earthquake preparedness strategy, as these are the best ways to keep the public safe. In the Cayman Islands, disaster management is a coordinated effort that involves several key individuals and agencies. starting with Hazard Management Cayman Islands, or the HMCI, which is the central body responsible for planning and coordinating all aspects of disaster response and preparedness. Moving on to the NEOC, this organization comes into action during emergencies and operates under the HMCI to manage the crisis in real time. The governor has the authority to declare a state of emergency, which unlocks special resources and powers for disaster response. The premier plays a major role in managing the political impact and ensures coordination at the highest levels of government. The leader of the opposition represents the views of the minority and ensures that emergency response efforts are balanced and inclusive. Members of parliament are the link between the government and the public during a disaster. They report regional needs and help communicate updates to their communities. Finally, the financial secretary is vital in managing the financial response and helps lead the country through economic recovery after a disaster. Overall, the Cayman Islands face many natural threats, including hurricanes, earthquakes, and flooding. Since Hurricane Ivan occurred in 2004, there has been major reforms, from a decentralized, bottom-up system to a centralized, top-down system. This structure has improved preparedness significantly and led to a more efficient response. Finally, as the climate continues to change and sea levels continue to rise, adaptation is essential for resilience in the Cayman Islands. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.